Meanwhile, Strike visits Umnik, who makes him sit on a chair so narrow that makes guests uncomfortable on purpose as subtle torture. Since Umnik is in charge of the re-education program, Strike wants him to release Max so he can study him, and they discuss a deal. However, after Strike leaves, Umnik sees Max's profile and learns he doesn't have seizures. Wanting that power for himself, Umnik orders his employee to kidnap Max and make it look like he mysteriously disappeared, and also to send Strike a message saying Max unfortunately died in action. In the morning, the prisoners are sent to the forest to clean, meaning they must pick up every weapon left by the war. Max's group suddenly sees a bunch of defense robots and immediately drops to the ground as the robots open fire, shooting in circles with no signs of stopping. The prisoners wait for the right moment to fire back, and one by one they bring down the robots until they're all destroyed. Then the group continues to search the area, and Zeph teaches Max about the creature he saw when he arrived. He says they're dangerous mutated humans and should be killed on sight or they'll be killed first. After wandering for a while, Zeph suddenly falls into a hidden hole, so Max jumps in to help him. They discover a series of underground tunnels and start walking through them until they find an old abandoned facility. After noticing a beast sneaking around in the shadows, they turn on the power and find some old equipment. While they get distracted looking into some lenses that show them the desert, the beast uses the chance to run out, and Max tells Zeph not to shoot it. As the duo is horrified to notice human bones on the ground, the beast damages the equipment to cut the power before attacking. In the meantime, the fathers are discussing tactics to finally put an end to the rebels' attacks. However, Umnik points out this would be a great moment to put together all their guards into a huge army, implying he wants more war. The others like the idea of a full invasion, but they'll have to find a way to make the public accept the idea of war starting again, perhaps by planning a fake assassination attempt. In the evening, the rebels in the forest find Max and are shocked to see he's still alive because his body recovers very fast. Max explains Earth's health technology and points out his people don't know the meaning of fatal wound. He can only be stopped by a shot directly to the head. In return, the rebels explain that the fathers are dictators who took power by force and the towers aren't for defense, they actually send out waves to brainwash people. That's why they always go through a patriotic frenzy at the same time twice a day. Some people are immune to these waves and have seizures instead, but the government's propaganda has marked them as degenerates so they can hunt them down. At that moment the towers send their waves, so the rebels put a stick in their mouths to avoid choking while they have a seizure. In the city, Umnik does the same thing in private. Thanks to his earthling body, Max doesn't suffer pain at all, so he helps the rebels go through it. Afterward, Max and the rebels cut down a fence to cross into tower territory. As the rebels open fire on the soldiers and the alarm is raised, Max runs through the facility without fearing incoming bullets and knocks down any soldier who dares to get in his way with his bare hands. A few rebels are killed and others try to hide behind walls to continue to shoot the enemy to the very end. Max manages to get under the tower and installs a bunch of bombs before running out, tossing a rope through the hooks on each rebel's clothes to drag them out with him regardless if they're alive or not. Thanks to Max's strength, the group manages to escape to the forest right before the tower is brought down by the explosion.